Every vote matters, and both local Democrat and Republican parties want to remind residents of that before tomorrow's voter registration deadline.
I definitely think it's going to be an illustration of, how the country's feeling about politics. A lot of people are frustrated with a lot of stuff that's going on, and so I think our candidates are really good, and I think they offer a good plan for Virginia, for everybody in Virginia.
Tina Mapes is the Virginia Beach Republican Party chairwoman. She says our state election is front row and center on the national stage because of the political climate, and local Democrats agree.
Democrats want to show and make a strong push of Hillary not winning, and I think Virginia will be the start to show that pushback of people really wanting to take it into their own hands and really change policy and the way we want to see it.
It's why big names have been in the Commonwealth this weekend to get people out to vote. Vice President Mike Pence campaigned for Republican candidate Ed Gillespie, while former Vice President Joe Biden reached out to voters for Democratic candidate Ralph Northam. Joe Dillard, who's the vice president of the Greater Hampton Roads Black Democrat, says his group believes millennials will make the difference at the polls.
I know a lot of people were upset with what happened or were already upset with politicians and what was going on in politics in general, and now is the time for us to get out and vote and really make substantive change in what's going on in the nation.
To register to vote, you must be a Virginia resident, a U.S. citizen, and 18 by November 7th. You can register online at a local registration office, at the DMV, even a public library. And despite who you're voting for, both parties want you to get out to cast your ballot to make the changes only you can.
A lot of people think, it's not that important. Somebody else is going to go out and vote, but one vote does make a difference. And so everybody who's registered to vote, we encourage to go out and vote and have your voice heard.
I just hit the unlock button. Unlock right away, none of the doors were open, none of that. And then that was the first thing that I saw.
Why would someone steal a car's side mirrors? That's only one question Joshua Moore has. The other is,
well, how did he get in? I'm like, I have no idea.
It wasn't until Moore went back and watched security footage. Then he saw how a thief snuck into his SUV on this Kings Point street in Chesapeake.
But in the video, you see him slow down in front of our car.
The suspect walks over from their white pickup truck towards the Moore's family car. Watch closely and keep in mind, Moore's doors are locked. The suspect checks one car.
Then they walked over to ours and literally just popped the door wide open.
For the next 10 to 15 minutes, the suspect sits in the car and rifles through it. Moore says they stole a dash camera, money, and other things from inside. He still isn't sure how the suspect got into a locked car with ease, but he has his suspicions.
They're getting the transponder, which, it's as easy as going on the internet and getting it nowadays.
So who could this person be? Moore thinks it all comes back to what they took last, the side mirrors.
If somebody was just to walk up to a mirror, they wouldn't know that it literally just pops off.
It's someone who knows cars and apparently how to get into them without conventional tools.
Tutus, boas, and bikes covered the 31st Street Neptune Park.
Come every year, rain or shine.
As survivors, family, and friends came together to show their support.
Letting people know that despite of what you're going through, that you can still push through it, and at the end of your finish line is a miracle waiting to happen.
This was Kevin Simmons' second year doing the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure, and each year he brings out a special outfit.
I don't wear this on a regular basis, just one day out of the year.
The enthusiasm and energy ran through the crowd all morning long.
We're out here to support and just show our support and represent people that's been affected in our lives.
It's not the Battle of the Bay without the bands, both of them extraordinary. Now on to the game. Hampton, which had lost 3 straight to NSU, goes up 14-0 in the first on this run by Shea McKenzie. Norfolk State, though, slowly starts to put together a comeback. Jawan Carter over the middle to Marcus Taylor, and Taylor, the junior from Highland Springs, does the rest, a 52-yard touchdown. Spartans now down 14-7. Second half, 4th down and goal for Hampton. The Pirates go for it, but Yankee Johnson stuffed short, a turnover on downs. Norfolk State with the ball on its own 1. And on the very next play, the Pirates defense comes up with the big play, a safety, and those 2 points would prove to be critical. Midway through the 4th, Norfolk State back on the board. Jawan Carter to Marcus Taylor for the touchdown. Taylor, 7 catches for 111 yards. Hampton, though, still up 16-14. 2.5 minutes to go, and here is the ball game. Josh Nardone, a 25-yard field goal, a chance to give Norfolk State the lead, but the kick is wide right. And that is it. Hampton defeats Norfolk State 16-14. Connell Maynor was 0-3 against Norfolk State, but he finally gets the taste of victory in the Battle of the Bay.
Feels great, getting the monkey off our back, but bigger than that, we keep our dreams alive, our hopes alive, and win the championship and get to the Celebration Bowl. And that was the big thing, is Norfolk State happened to be the next game. Of course, we wanted to beat them. They beat us the last 3 years, but we wanted to stay perfect and still control our own destiny to the championship and the Celebration Bowl.
Hampton improves to 3-0 in the BAC. Norfolk State drops to 2-1. In Norfolk, Brian Parsons for the Sports Wrap.
I'm gonna want to take a bath and just chill for a minute, let it all soak in, I think.
A judge set aside the conviction of a Kansas City, Kansas man convicted of double murder and who has already served 23 years behind bars. Lamont McIntyre is now a free man. He will not face a new trial.
Happy, dizzy. I wanted him to feel this sunlight. I just want my son to feel something he hasn't felt in 20-something years.
The judge began hearing evidence Thursday in McIntyre's case. He was 17 years old when he was arrested in 1994 and spent the last 23 years behind bars for a double murder he says he didn't commit.
It's been a hard-fought case, and we've spent years building it.
The unusual hearing for Lamont McIntyre took place at the Wyandotte County Courthouse. A retired chief judge from Hays, Kansas heard the evidence. Attorneys for the Midwest Innocence Project say they have spent 7 years investigating McIntyre's case.
We've had people willing to come forward and tell the truth, which is sometimes a very hard thing.
A court convicted McIntyre, who's 41, of killing Donald Ewing and Donielle Quinn in April of 1994. Both men were shot to death as they sat inside a car.
My hope has always been to be able to close my son's casket. And as long as her son was still in jail, that opportunity was not afforded for me because it wasn't the right guy. But now we can move forward.
The Metro Organization for Racial and Economic Equity rallied in support of McIntyre's release Thursday morning, claiming that the case against him is built on false testimony, the product of police coercion. This hearing also raised questions about the actions of a KCK police detective who's now retired and the prosecutor of the case.
Our goal has been to bring some things out into the open. There's a lot that needs to be brought out from the dark corners and some truths that need to be confronted.
I just thank everybody because they did not give up on my son.
All right, let's go see what we got going on out here. These Matthews County working watermen called 10 on Your Side, complaining their government is destroying their way of life. Waterman Wayne Hudgens.
Killing our creek. Killing our creek.
Is that the way you feel?
Yes.
This is video of private contractors hired by the U.S. Coast Guard to cut down 14 channel markers around Matthews County. Coast Guard Captain Richard Wester, Commander, Sector Hampton Roads.
We have to have access to them to maintain them, and the water's just too shallow for us to get there, and the aides would be marking a channel that is really too shallow, and we don't want to encourage boaters into an unsafe channel.
The Coast Guard's been hard at work. We found this channel marker strapped to a dock, and at night you can see the flashing beacon light underwater.
That will be gone, this will be gone, and one that they're sawing on now will be gone.
Scenes like this will continue until all the channel markers are gone. And the Coast Guard claims it is shoaling, the act of sand filling in the channel that has made the passage to Davis Creek non-navigable. We found the channel is shallow, even near high tide, almost hitting bottom. Waterman Carlton Haywood says that makes it even more important to leave up the channel markers.
It's just a hazard to our navigation. Our livelihood coming and going. I mean, it's very dangerous without them.
Hudgens says it's a matter of safety.
No, it's more than nitpicking because you got people's lives at stake when you deal with this.
You're nitpicking. That's what they say.
Yeah. No aids to navigation can be safer than misleading aids to navigation.
The watermen argue cutting down the channel markers hurts businesses economically. Marinas, county and commercial docks, and recreational boating. What can increase creek depth is dredging. But are you expecting them to come in and dredge?
Yes.
Mike Walls is running for Matthews County Supervisor on the dredging issue, and he knows federal dollars for shallow draft, low traffic projects like Davis Creek always lose out to 14-foot or greater dredging projects.
My response to that is we've got a lot of money. The federal government has money. They spend money in the wrong spots.
Maybe so, but the fact is Davis Creek hasn't been dredged since 1971.
It could absolutely be dredged in the future.
One of the Army Corps of Engineers' mission is dredging, and the folks there know this is a big issue. Chief of Public Affairs, Mark Haviland.
We're actively working with Matthews County and with Congressman Whitman to talk about the projects out in Matthews County.
Davis Creek too?
Yes, sir.
The Army Corps, could decide to come back and dredge, at which point we may or may not put ACE navigation back in.
But that would be the Coast Guard putting back up what the Coast Guard took down. For now, as you look down the channel, you see PVC pipe put up by the watermen community as navigational aids in and out of Davis Creek because they think something's better than nothing.
It's a disgrace. It's like I say, to any boater. Now, people are going to come here and say, well, darn, we can't. How do we get in? We don't know how to get in. There's no markers other than what, we put up.
This is cell phone video Administrator Karen Mills took from First Baptist Church, Berkeley, Monday afternoon after someone rushed to get her attention.
I was on the phone and he told me, you need to get off the phone. There's been an accident at the church. And I'm like, what kind of accident? And he said, someone has run into the church.
Mills says the SUV left a hole in a part of the building closest to the fellowship hall.
It went through the first layer of what's there, but it didn't go through the second layer, so that's good. It did sever some pipes. It happened during a time when children were in school, so you didn't have to be concerned about that, as well as a lot of people were at work. So they weren't walking along the streets going different places.
Police say earlier in the day, someone reported that the driver and passenger of a gray Nissan at East Olney Road and Lincoln Street were threatening people with guns. Officers say when they tried to stop the SUV, it got on 264, sideswiped a tractor trailer on the Berkeley Bridge, and kept going. Then police say the SUV hit a parked car on Vernon Drive, and the 21-year-old passenger got out. Police arrested him, but officers say the driver kept going, hitting First Baptist Church, Berkeley.
It's terrible. It's terrible that we have to be concerned about that. It's terrible that we have people who are just going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, guys, we're here at Parkview Elementary, a school that received a special honor today at today's event. During Hurricane Matthew, as you'll remember, several students here at Parkview were displaced. The school worked with those students to get their test scores up. As we've reported last month, it was announced that Parkview received full accreditation this year. Today, during his State of Education speech, School Superintendent Dr. Eli Bracey presented Parkview's principal with the banner showcasing their success. Accreditation was just one of the things Dr. Bracey talked about this morning. He also announced the new slogan for the division and changes to technology in the classroom. After the event, Dr. Bracey told me the increase in the number of schools that were accredited is not only good for the school division, but also for the city.
Economic development is driven around how successful your schools are. So we wanted to make sure that our community knows that we're on the right track to getting schools accredited. 4 more this year. We're working hard to be fully accredited throughout the division, but we know it's a process, step by step. We're putting things in place so that we can get to that point.
We also talked to Dr. Bracey about changes to the school conduct code that was new for this school year. We also talked about school funding. Coming up tonight on WAVY News 10 at 5:30, we're going to tell you more about those conversations happening right now between the school division and the city. In Portsmouth, I'm Brandy Cummings, 10 on your side.
Jedi Sanford is a 9-year-old on a mission. A cat adoption ignited a fire.
I went to the shelter and all those animals were in a little cage full of about nothing.
His desire to help some 4-legged friends,
so I got them another,
led the 9-year-old to skip the birthday presents for all of this.
Treats, bones, beds, and blankets.
The idea came to him when his family was at the Virginia Beach SPCA.
All the humans have a lot of stuff. They have their own house, they have TVs, they have beds, and the animals just have a cage.
His family got on board, spreading the word on social media.
We were just speechless and proud at the moment, but I thought that
Maybe he would possibly change his mind, but he didn't.
For the last 2 weeks, donations have been piling up outside the Sanfords' home.
There would be boxes stacked high in front of our door.
And on Thursday, they'll take them to the Virginia Beach SPCA.
Just blown away by this act of compassion.
With an influx of animals from hurricane-hit areas, those donations will be put to good use.
We really depend on those donations in order to care for the amount of animals that we have.
More than 20 bags of food and a table full of toys adds up to more than $1,100 worth of supplies.
He reached out into the hearts of all of these people and made them want to do something good.
All to help Jedi's new best friends.
I'm excited to take it so I can help all the animals.
There's 20 days left in the governor's race, and both candidates showed up today in Williamsburg to share their vision of Virginia for the next 4 years. At the Virginia Chamber of Commerce's Conference on World Trade, Democrat Lieutenant Governor Dr. Ralph Northam spoke first. Dr. Northam told the crowd he wants to put an emphasis on growing jobs if he's governor, and he pointed out the growth that the Commonwealth has already seen under Governor McAuliffe, and he wants to continue that trend. Later on, just before lunch, Republican gubernatorial hopeful Ed Gillespie put his emphasis on the ports in Virginia. He says Virginia has to act quickly to make sure we don't lose jobs to other states from that industry. Both had strong words for the other afterwards.
I think people need to look at our resumes, and certainly I have a lifetime of public service. My opponent is a Washington lobbyist, so there's a big difference in that.
He's not showing up to do his job for the people of the Commonwealth. I will. I'll be a hardworking, honest, ethical, faithful servant leader to the people of Virginia.
Coming up at 6:15, we asked both the candidates point blank, why should Virginians vote for you? You don't want to miss their answers. It might decide how you vote. In Williamsburg, I'm Matt Gregory. 10 on your side.
Tonight was all about healing and remembering the life of Veronica Darden, a woman who touched countless people. Her family says she showed kindness to every person she met, including the inmates who took her life.
To me, she was a legend.
On the minds of everyone here is how Veronica Darden brightened up their lives.
To know her was to love her.
A shining example of a good person. Ronnie, as they called her, had no enemies.
Loved and helped everyone. Whoever was in need, she took them in like they were her own.
Tonight, family, friends, and co-workers filled Missing Mill Park in Hertford by the dozens. They lit candles, said prayers, and recounted memories of the 50-year-old woman who never stopped smiling.
Hardest thing of my life.
Surrounded by family, Darden's daughter Jasmine Herring has choice words for the inmates who killed her mom and correctional officer Justin Smith inside the Pasquotank Correctional Institution.
My mama did everything she could to help you. And then you just do this to her? No, I can't kill them because I don't want to be in jail. But if I could, you don't even want to know.
The sheriff says the inmates attacked last Thursday inside the prison sewing shop where Darden was a supervisor. 4 men tried to escape, but never got away.
She helped them do the job that they were assigned to do and showed them how to do it. That woman could sew.
Cindy Scott is a longtime correctional officer who still has not returned to work.
They all were great people, and all they did was do their job every day and help these inmates so they could just do their time and go home, if there's such a thing.
On the minds of everyone is how to let go of their sadness, because that's what Ronnie would want.
She was so happy. She was the happiest person in this world.
And Sheriff Randy Cartwright says he plans to meet with the district attorney later this week. He expects murder among a slew of other charges to be filed. When that happens is when we'll learn the names of the inmates involved. Reporting in Hertford, North Carolina, I'm Joe Fisher. 10 on your side.
But there's some people out there that don't want help, and that's sad.
But the help is there, says Edward Gore, faced with homelessness in Virginia Beach, a problem leaders want to end.
Our goal for the plan is to make homelessness rare, brief, and non-recurring.
In 2013, City Council adopted a strategic plan to end homelessness. Tuesday, it voted unanimously on an updated approach called Community of One, serving to unite local groups and partners like the Judeo-Christian Outreach Center, headed by Todd Walker.
I think it's a great plan.
The hub or base of it is coordinated assessment.
In Virginia Beach, homeless singles, families, or kids are encouraged to call the Regional Housing Crisis Hotline, where they are assessed and provided with the best plan for their specific situation or needs.
And so basically everybody's resources are being shared all together.
The plan was written by the city's Department of Housing and Neighborhood Preservation. Director Andrew Friedman says a big part is the upcoming launch of a housing resource center on North Witchduck Road near Southern Boulevard. It'll provide extra space and help like job training.
And it will be a central point of focus for volunteers and faith organizations who want to come and help people get out of homelessness.
People like Gore, who's right now staying at the Judeo-Christian Outreach Center, pleased to know more help is on the way.
I think that's a good thing.
I'm Brian Parsons. Welcome back to the Old Dominion Football Show, the 1 Minute Drill. And look who we have here, running back Jeremy Cox from, where are you from?
North Carolina, Fayetteville.
What is the one movie that, when it's on, you can't turn it off and you watch it over and over again?
I probably have to say Temptations or 5 Heartbeats. I'm an old school man. That's my favorite movie right there.
So you probably have some quotes. So give me some quotes from the movie.
I'm David Ruffin. Y'all can't do this without me. Y'all ain't nothing without me. That's my favorite quote from the movie.
What was the most fun about the Bahamas Bowl trip?
Oh, man. I want to say the best thing from the Bahamas Bowl, probably the chicken. I'm a fat boy, so I love food. Then we had a little dance competition against Eastern Michigan, so that was also fun, too. That was also fun.
We have a clip in our system back at the station. We basically just call it The Run. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. I know what you're talking about. Yes, sir.
Take me through that play.
Honestly, I was just behind my line, and I was getting tackled from each and everywhere, and I was on my feet. I honestly can't describe to you that run, because I was just on my feet the entire time, and then my teammates was hitting me from everywhere.
Does Bobby Wilder have a bromance with Jim Harbaugh?
He probably do. He probably do. Maybe not that we know about publicly, but he probably do.
And what is your favorite thing about being a Monarch, Jeremy?
Oh, man, my favorite thing about being a Monarch is I get to scream, I get to go crazy, I get to be who I am, whether the camera's on me or not. So that's the best thing about being a Monarch.
All right, Jeremy Cox has passed the 1 minute drill. Jeremy, say goodbye to the Monarch Nation.
All right, goodbye, Monarch Nation.
Walking door to door, volunteers and police came together helping a community recover on the heels of a deadly officer-involved shooting.
These residents heard it as it was probably going on that evening. They may have kids, they may be fearful to go outside, and so this is about starting that healing process for those residents.
It all started around 11:30 Tuesday night when 2 officers on a task force, one from Newport News, the other from Williamsburg, spotted a stolen Ford pickup and followed it to the 7-Eleven in Hampton. Police say the pair tried to talk to the 5 men inside when one pointed a gun at the officers. The truck then reportedly drove towards them, striking their unmarked police car. The officers fired shots, killing 24-year-old DeAndre Bethay.
We know you've had a homicide in the area. So all we're doing, we're not the police, all we're doing is passing out information.
Police say 5 guns were recovered at the scene. The 4 men who survived are charged with possession of a firearm and grand larceny. 18-year-old Daron Owens, 20-year-old Leroy Clyburn, and 2 17-year-old boys. While the investigation continues, police weren't here seeking tips Thursday. Rather, through a reset walk, they simply let the community know they care. Volunteers passed out pamphlets detailing helpful city resources.
This is good for the community. We need cooperation between the services and the community because the community needs so much.